Aeon's End, The Descent, Battle 4. Brama! What just happened? Brama keeps her head down as she pushes through the group gathered behind the gates. People catch her arm and she shakes them off, ignoring their questions, continuing to move. "Where's Fraxir?" Laysan demands. "Where's my cousin?" "We have to go back out there for him." Dalana begs. "Brama, please." "Brama, you can't just..." "Quiet!" The clamoring crowd falls into a stunned silence at Brama's sharp voice. She stands at the front of them, back straight, eyes stormy. "I am your leader. I brought you to this place. I swore to protect you, and I will." Brama sweeps her gaze across the crowd. Her people stand silent and expectantly before her eyes wide. Elderly and children, powerless babes and those with no magic to defend them. Her burgeoning civilization right now, nothing more than a huddled mass, hiding together from what's out in the darkness. Fraxir is dead. Brama silences the rush of murmurs with a single movement of her hand. He bought us time to get inside the city, but the vulnerable among us will never be safe until the monster outside our gate is gone. "We're down one of our best fighters, Brama," Janti says, stepping forward. Her usual confident smile has been wiped away by the grief in her eyes. "Perhaps we shouldn't waste the safety his sacrifice earned us. We can rest and recuperate here, form a plan, train more of the men and boys to use the alternative magic in Fawn's books, forge a true army." "Janti, you've given me much sage advice throughout my life. You were the first to believe I had the instincts of a leader. It is time for you to trust me now. We don't have time to waste. We are new to this city and we have not investigated its defenses. The beast knows we're in here and soon it will turn its siege onto Gravehold itself. If the walls are not sturdy, it could destroy them and catch us unprepared. The strong amongst us must go out now and drive the creature away for the safety of the rest. Perhaps there are allies to be found in this city," Mazahedron suggests, pointing above Brama to the signal fire lit on the tower above the city. "Who has been tending that light?" As if on cue, the arcane fire flashes brightly, catching for a moment the silhouette of something almost human dancing around its edge. The figure sends a shiver through Brama. It is humanoid, but too tall, too thin, and wearing a disfigured mask. The burst of fire sweeps down through the city, rushing toward Brama and her people. Brama lifts her hands to shield it, but it moves faster than she can react. She hears screams from behind her and smells singed flesh. Not allies, and no time to lose. Brama turns on her heel and begins barking orders. "Laysan, Raven, Mazahedron, Janti, with me now. Dalana, get everyone into one of these buildings and stay there." But Dalana begins to protest, but Brama cuts her off. "Treat their burns, they need you." "Let me come with you." Brama looks over to see Adelheim stepping forward from the crowd, his hammer gripped in his hand. He's just a boy, even younger than Brama, barely coming into his first beard. But she can't argue with the determination in his eyes. That man on the tower may be against us now, but he's not the only one who can use an arcane flame. Brama nods sharply. Do it. Raven hands her daughter to Myrna as the group rushes off to shelter in one of the old buildings surrounding them. Outside, the Nameless slams its body into the gates hard enough that stone dust showers down upon them. Brama pulls her group in close and gives instruction in a harsh voice that allows no argument. We lost our best fighters, and that monster is too much for just the 6 of us to handle alone. We may not be able to kill it, but if we can hurt it badly enough, we should be able to convince it to seek its dinner elsewhere. Brama rests a hand on Janti's shoulder. The best strategy will be to split up. Just a single blow from this creature is devastating, but it doesn't seem very smart. We'll surround it and keep alternating who hits it to keep it on the back foot. We will all be distractions for each other. Because being a distraction worked out so well for Fraxir, Janti mumbles with dark humor in her voice. Mesahedron, you are our best long-distance mage, and the slowest amongst us, so you will close the gate behind us and then accompany Adelheim to take care of whatever is on that signal fire. Mesahedron folds his hands together and nods graciously. I have walked on fire and have not been burned. Let's show that beast what happens when you take one of our own, Leyland growls, hoisting her battle axe. Brama nods. For Gravehold! Alright, instructions to open envelope 4. And a big envelope. So I assume a lot of stuff's gonna go down this one. Okay, so we have the Wrath at 6 health. Alright, Adelheim the Blacksmith. Gather Scrap. Each player may return up to 3 cards in their discard pile that cost 0 to their hand. Place the Forged Sparks and Forged Crystals above this mat. Okay. That's only really helpful when you have cards in there. The Cultist. Feed the Ritual. Volatile Pylons gains 2 life. Then remove a power token from Ritual Flame 3 times. Place the Volatile Pylon and Ritual Flame cards into play. The Wrath. Wrath gains 1 Nemesis token. Increased difficulty setup. Place the Wrath track into play with the increased difficulty side face up. Place the Wrath track into play with a normal difficulty. Well, in this case, increased difficulty. Place the strike token on space 0 and unleash. Increased difficulty, and that's normal difficulty. Okay. So they discard a spell in hand. Discard a spell in hand. Lose 1 Nemesis token. Lose 1 Nemesis token. What's the difference? Suffer 2 damage, suffer 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so normal difficulty has more of the blank spots, and just doesn't. Yeah, so 3 of them are replaced with discard a card in hand, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's happened. 7, 7. Okay, so lose a Nemesis token has also been removed there with a blank. Okay. Okay, that's a lot of stuff going on. Move the strike token to 0 and Wrath suffers 1 damage. Okay, so it goes around. Okay. Feel I need the context of the Wrath at the end. At the end of the Nemesis turn, if the Wrath has 4 more Nemesis tokens, it rampages. Gravel suffers 7 damage and the Wrath loses 3 Nemesis tokens. Repeat this if the Wrath has 4 more Nemesis tokens. So we don't want it to have Nemesis tokens on. Makes sense. When a player deals damage to the Nemesis, prevent that damage, advance the strike token an amount of spaces on the Wrath strike equal to the amount of damage prevented this way, and resolve the effect of the token lands on. And resolve the effect the token lands on. Okay, so let's say I deal 3 damage, and then we go to nothing. And okay, so the first lose 2 damage, lose 1 Nemesis token. 3 damage, lose 1 Nemesis token, but in this case, we go over here. So all the red ones, they are negative, and white ones discard a card in hand. Otherwise, discard 2 cards in hand. So we really want to do 5. And then I guess 5 again. And then over here. Yeah, and then it always goes here because it's always 14 plus and then goes up there. Alright, so you want to do that rotation 6 times. Unless it heals somehow. Do not resolve effects the strike token passed over but did not land on. If the token would move past the space 14, instead place it on space 14. And do not move it anymore from that instance of damage. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so we didn't get a new mage, so I will look at the mages I already have and see like who I want to play with and set up them. Oh, sorry, yeah, we forgot something. So we have to set up the friends and foe. We did that, but we will be doing that. Open deck 4. So we have new treasures. This is level 3 treasures. Oh, yeah. So each mage will get one of these. Knitted iron. Whenever you suffer damage, gain 1 charge. Oh, nice. At the end of your casting phase, if you cast no spells this turn, place an elemental token on any enemy. Okay. At the start of your first turn of the game, destroy up to 3 cards in hand. Ooh. Quite situational, but I like it. Especially when you're playing with a character like Mesahedron. You can discard your own cards and then you just gain the cards from Mesahedron, so you optimize your deck with a high efficiency and then gain all the bonuses from another player. Featherweave Satchel. You may prep 1 additional spell to your 3rd breach. You may prep 1 additional spell to your 4th breach. That's... Oh, it's sad that we cannot play Fraxier for this game. Because that would have been really strong with his 4th breach. Siphon Ring. Once per turn during your main phase, you may discard a card in hand if you do place an elemental token on any enemy. I like that. I like that a lot. Gilded Chorus. At the start of your main phase, if you have 4 more cards in hand that cost 1 ether or more, deal 3 damage. Nice. Okay. They all have their place. They all have their place. And strong in their own matter. And then we have Adelheim's cards. And the Forge decks, yeah, so they already exist, lost from New Age. He has these cards that, he upgrades his cards, crystals into Forge crystals, I think they're also just called, which gives just 2 ether and Forge spark 2 damage, yeah. So, more crystals and sparks, man, that's fine, yeah, makes sense. And then we have the 4 cards for Cultist Foe. And the Cultist has the Ritual Flame and the Volatile Pylon. This enters play with 4 life. This minion has no maximum life. This minion's life cannot be reduced below 1. Interesting. Power 5. Any player or gravehold suffers damage equal to life of volatile pylon minus 1. Place 5 power tokens on this instead of discarding it. Okay, so you want to keep volatile pylon low, so you don't take damage. Any player or gravehold suffers damage. Okay, so it's flexible. Makes sense because it has to be compatible with a lot of Nemesis. So these are now upgraded, and these are the RAF special cards. I will not look into them further before the game. And yeah, so I have everything I need to set up the game, so I'll just set it all up and then get into it. Alright, let's get into this. We're playing against the RAF, and to do so I've chosen to go back to our first battle, returning to Brama and Janti, now with completely upgraded setups and hopefully a more coherent play, especially when it comes to Brama. Hopefully we'll get something we more appreciate. We are more appreciative of when it comes to Janti's deck. We have Featherweave Satchel. You may prep one additional spell to your 3rd and 4th breach. Idea is you can prep more spells to the breach where you have your upgrade attached relic or attached card for the upgraded breach. And then we have Henge Pendant. At the end of your casting phase, if you cast no spells this turn, place an elemental token on any enemy. This is especially for early game when you don't have a lot of spells going around, you don't want to use your spells, your sparks and so on. Then you can just say next turn and give your ally and put out tokens like Electrify or Immolate. And this is especially for Brama to just sit around and give Electrifies early on to Janti so she can proc her ability sooner. As for level 2 treasure, I have Essence Membrane. After a player finishes resolving their ability, that player places an elemental token on any enemy. Again, stacking up these elemental tokens, putting some Venom out to deal with minions, put out Immolate to optimize decks, Electrify to gain charges, so on. And just like get your ability on sooner again, essentially. And that's also why I have chosen to go with Alchemical Ignition for the prepped effect. While prepped effect, once per turn, when any player places an elemental token, they place an additional elemental token of the same type on that enemy. So we can really begin to proc them really fast, really easy, especially because we want to build up to something large. Yeah, we have to hit the RAF for specific player damage counts, so it's good to have like high-end damage and low-end damage. I'm not quite sure where like the Venom stacks in, because there's a lot of like going 2 and then you suffer damage and then you discard a card in hand. So I have to figure out like what's the optimal way to go about this. For the treasure, I've gone with Johanna's Bottled Ink for Brama, just helping to get the 5 cost spells out soon, early on. And for Janti, we have Honor's Overwhelming Flame, again just to deal a lot of damage, like proc or spells early on, to move forward. Well, not early on, during the mid to late game. It's not really helpful in the early game. We have the RAF here sitting around, and I'm gonna put him to the side. We're gonna remember that he's there, remember all his effects and stuff. So I've set up difficulty board, 6 health, and then I'll put on Nemesis tokens as we go. Yeah, I think that's about it. And of course I moved the supply around to put in the Nemesis board here in the middle. I think that's the best place for it. I think that's everything I feel like I need to explain. Of course we have the banners, but we've seen those in the earlier games, so we'll just see them as they come up. Let's go. Nemesis going first. Crumbling Earth. That's the second time. Technically the third time if we don't take the game. If we take the game where I had to restart. So this is the second time as the first card of the recorded games. This card spends 6, power 3, unleash twice. Any player discards a card in hand that costs 1 or either or more and suffers 1 damage. We are probably going to see that trigger because that's going to be difficult to get ready for. Third. Got to flip these over. Melt. The volatile pylon has 5 or more life. Any player discards 2 cards in hand, otherwise volatile pylon gains 4 life. Right, so we also have to put a lot of health damage towards that pylon because I do not want... Oh, Withdrawal of Flame. So I assume just... Yeah, so they put into play. I'll just place them under the foe. Okay, so I have to remember that to take power off whenever the Nemesis goes because that's still in play. It doesn't... Yeah, it just puts them into play, so I assume they still are... the power ticks off whenever it's Nemesis turn. Otherwise it would be a very slow burner and not that interesting, so... Friend. At the time, the blacksmith gains 2 charges, or any player destroys a spark in hand or discard pile and gains a forged spark. None of them have a spark. So we're just gonna build up something else, and that's just gonna be 2 charges then. Then it's Janti. Give me a second, I forgot the breaches. Alright, that should make it. Alright, so 4 ether, open that. Prep it there. Cool. Brama. Right, so at the end of your casting phase, and that's now, place an elemental token on any enemy. I think. Do I just want to put Electrify out there? I think. Putting Fallen Rage, and then we have 4 ether. So I think I do just want to go for. What do I want to go for? I want a way to get rid of the Crumbling Earth, I think. And just do stuff later on, so I'm going for that washroom. No. Banner of Sagas. So Brama, Friend Blacksmith, Aldelheim gonna get 1 charge, and then 3 ether for Flamium. That's the way we do. Janti. I don't even want to do that damage, because then we have to discard a spell in hand, but I guess that's not the worst thing to happen. That's 1, goes over there, and then discard a spell in hand. And then we have 4 ether. Okay, so I just want to go for the washroom, because we need to get those breaches online. Brama. Alright, so I think... While prepped, when you suffer damage, gain an ether token. I could put a venom out by keeping it prepped, but I don't wanna... So, Fallen Rage is gonna go, hitting 1, then it loses 1 Nemesis token, but it doesn't have a Nemesis token to lose. Prep Spark. And we have 5 ether. If Janti discards a crystal, a gem. And then she has 3 ether that can go towards focusing for each 3. And then she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 charges. Okay, I think we're gonna do that. Oh, sorry. It wouldn't even do that. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I don't even need her to focus on opening up that breach right now, because she can just do that next turn. But still. So that's gonna be 5 ether. She's gonna gain a time lift. With Johanna's Bottle Ink, any ally may discount gem. If they do, gain 2 ether, and then the next card you gain this turn goes on top of their deck. Okay. I think that's everything. Nemesis. Well, I could be putting out... Oh, wait. That damage, I didn't need to do it here. That should be done over here. I might have to watch out for what I'm doing. Okay, but I still think that's within the limits. Flesh Tendril. Persistent, unleash, or move the strike token back 2 spaces on the raft track without resolving any effects. Okay. We certainly want to get rid of that. Round 2. Janti is just gonna go 3 ether, but I think she just want to go for a silent sting. She could also go for a coruscating mirror. Hopefully that's early enough. It needs to go now. Okay, and then prep. And then she can use Washion, 3 ether, and open up breach 3. Okay. I think for now I want to focus on Flesh Tendril, so go down to 6 health. And then Washion, focus, 3 ether, open. And then she can prep 2 to it. Nemesis. Alright, and I think move the strike token back 2 spaces. It can, so it has to unleash, and that's going to be 1 Nemesis token. New card. Bash Unleash. That's 2 Nemesis tokens. Any player resolve the red space closest to the strike token on the raft track twice. Closest, does that also mean include what it's on? Well, that is the closest, I would argue, so I'm gonna treat it like that. It's gonna be... Well, she could discard 2. Yeah, and I kinda need to do that because... That's gonna be those 2. And I kinda need to do that because otherwise we don't have 6 ether on Brama. We still want to go for that. Possible, and there we are. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm not gonna cast it. So that's going to be putting an elemental token out. And I think in this case I'm going to put a Venom token on, and then let me just double check the rules. Yep, was just making sure it's immediately, it doesn't have to be the same. So that triggers, she gains a charge and deals 2 damage, and that's going to put this down to 4. And then that's 6 ether, so that's going to pay this one off. So far so good. Oh, discard a spell in hand. She couldn't discard that. Oh. I can't even trigger that. I realized it was a discard a spell in hand. How to interpret that? Any player resolves the red space close to the strike token on the raft track twice. What if I can't resolve that? Do it just... Am I forced to go to the next one over and take damage? I haven't even put health. Given them health. Am I just supposed to, like... Is that... If I can't resolve the closest one, what then? Am I just lucky? This feels wrong. But okay, so please correct me, and then we'll see if the health would have mattered in the end. Because that would just been reducing one player down to one player suffering 4 damage. So we'll see. Player 1 again. Could do 4. Just to open up that and put a Venom token out. That's very tempting, but I also have 4 Ether. Or 5 or 6 if I give it to my ally. I don't quite want to do that. Gonna trigger that spark, go down to 3. Prep funnel rage, and then we go 2 Ether to gain a charge. And then she's going to suffer 1 damage on Turnium to give an Ether token to Janti, and then she's going to get 1 Ether herself, so she's left with 3 Ether. And because Hungry Allied has the benefit of, if you have 2 more charges, you may gain or develop this 1 less. We're gonna flip it over to say we have developed it, and then focus all 4 for each. Oh, and we suffered 1, so that's going down to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so we have Nemesis. That triggers. And then Unleash, so this goes to 3. Surge. Unleash twice, and any player loses 1 charge. Great. So Unleash twice, so this goes to 5. Any player loses a charge. There. Right, and then we are at the end of the turn, end of the Nemesis turn. If the Wrath has 4 more Nemesis tokens, it rampages, revels of 7, and the Wrath loses 3. Repeat this if the Wrath has 4 more Nemesis tokens. So we are taking that 7 damage. So down to 23 already. That's a rough one. That's it for the Nemesis this round. But not the foe. Cultist gains 1 charge. The player may discard a gem in hand that costs 3 or more. So that might be tempting, because otherwise the pylon gains 3 life, so we're just going to do that. And we have Friend! Blazing Furnace. Any player destroys a crystal in hand or discard pylon gains a forged crystal. Any player returns up to 2 cards from a discard pile that cost 0 to their hand. None have anything in the discard pile. So the gain card is not into hand. Okay. Yeah, she can do that, but she would rather just keep the charges. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ether. So she can't really do much with that. So yeah, she can destroy a crystal for a forged crystal and put it into her discard pile for now. Okay, so far it's not looking too great, but we'll see what's gonna happen in the next round. Okay, let's get into round 3. Brama goes first. So what does she want to do? Key Funnel Rage prep, I believe, and then we can put Venom out on Flesh Tendril, and then it can either be used on Flesh Tendril or Volatile Pylon. That's 4 Ether. Maybe just 2 charges. Or actually just 1 charge. Oh, no. No. 2 charges. Okay, nice. So one thing is that we're gonna use Time Rift to deal 5 damage to Flash Tendril. Powering off Venom triggers deals 2 to this, so goes to 5 health. That's good. We're pretty lucky with that turn order. And then 1 damage more. Oh, sorry. Should check the top card, and it's crystals. Definitely want to discard that. That's gotten rid of, and then we can take the spark to deal 2 damage, but down to 3. Pretty healthy, and also, does she want to discard? No, she does not. Okay, so coruscating mirror to draw, ally draws 1. Good, and an ether token, I believe. Yeah, gains 1 ether token. No restrictions. And then we have 3 ether in hand, plus the 1 here. And that's just going to be 2 charges. That's perfect. So, volatile pylon gains 2 life and any player loses 1 charge, or the cultist gains 3 charges and the friend gains 1 charge. You know what? The pylon can gain 3 life. 5 would have seen. We'd like to see Nemesis goes before, and then any player loses 1 charge, so Brama goes down to 2. Nemesis, of course. Alright, so that triggers and then goes back to 5. So any player loses 4 health, so Brama goes down to 5. And then, while prep, when you suffer damage, gain an ether token. Okay, Eye of the Storm. Power 2. Move the strike token back 5 spaces on the raft track without resolving effect of that track. Or unleash twice. Oh, I forgot to put this down to 1 last time. 2 actually. Because it loses 3. Yeah, loses 3 Nemesis. There we go. Brama. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ether, possibly 7 or 8 if we just want to give alchemical ignition to our ally. Oh, sorry, we have 2 ether tokens, my bad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's just in hand. Okay, so what we can do is just cast Funneled Rage down to 4, because we don't have a lot of breaches open, so we need to have a space for a spark. And then the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is a alchemical ignition. Might just want to open up some breaches. Friend! Any player... Okay, so Burnish. Any player that destroys a crystal or spark in hand, that player gains the corresponding forge card and places into their hand. Or any player loses 2 charges. If they do Adelheim, the blacksmith gains 4 charges. And his ability is Gather Scrap. Each player may return up to 3 cards in the discard pile that cost 0 to their hand. And actually, don't mind that too much. Doesn't help her that much either. What can we gain from this? We do have the 2, 3, 4. So actually would down the line actually give her a lot of benefits from destroying that crystal and place it into their hand. So we can actually just destroy this crystal. And she can do the same and then gain 5 ether next turn. I think it's better off over here. These effects are getting really strong. Okay, that's all from friend. We have Janti. Right, so... Oh, in the long run, because we're not even going to use that extra ether right now. So, we have on us Overwhelming Flame. We have Washium, and we do want to focus up our 4th breach. So it's ready for later, so that's 3 ether, 2 ether, and 4 ether. So that's the ability. Oh, we do want to prep redirect it first. That's triggered. And then Owner's Overwhelming Flame triggers, and next time you're using your ability this turn, cast any player's prep spell without discarding it. As that's 3 damage to Volatile Pylon, goes down to 1. Okay, so now we're ready for it to trigger, and then gain the top card of the Infusion deck and place it into your hand. Internal Infusion, attach this to any player's breach. When a spell is cast from this breach, it deals additional 2 damage. Nice. Right, how do we want to do that? That's the 2 damage bonus. Nemesis. Boop. Boop. Portal Swarm. Persistent. Gravehold suffers 3. Round 4. Nemesis goes first, of course. 1. Move the strike token back 5 spaces. It can't. So unleash twice, so it goes to 4. Gravehold's gonna suffer a lot of damage now. Portal Swarm, Gravehold suffers 3, so that's even more. Yeah, so I'm happy I dealt that damage to a player mage. Okay. That's all from the in-play cards. One more. Okay. Bleed. Any player suffers 4 damage and loses 2 charges. The Wrath loses 1 Nemesis token. Or unleash twice. The player with the most expensive prep spell discards that spell. Brama can go to 1. And then loses 2. And goes down to 3. Right, but now I think I really need to focus on some charges for her. Good sacrifice, Brama. Gravel's gonna suffer another 3. There's nothing I could do about the Portal Swarm, it's what it is. So we have had good turns, we have bad turns. After the player finishes resolving their ability, that player places an elemental token on any enemy. Oh, I forgot about that. I'm just gonna put Electrify out. Very basic. Okay. So that's all cards in play. I hope to be better at remembering the Essence Membrane. Slaring Maw. Power 2, unleash twice. Set this next to the Wrath track. For the rest of the game, whenever a player resolves a red space on the Wrath deck, they resolve that effect an additional time. That's really early to get that. Like, considering like that's accumulates effects. Okay, so we're done with the Nemesis at least. Alright, so Redirector doubles all, deal 1 damage. Resolve any effects on or attached to the breach. This was cast from 1 additional time. So Internal Infusion, that's 2 damage twice, so that's 4. Open Breach plus 1 damage on cast, that's 1 times 2, so that's 6 damage, plus itself, that's 7. Easy to get rid of this. Actually, maybe... I have Time Rift in hand, so I might even want to just wait with that. Because we know this minion is going to stick around for a bit. So we just... It's not going to do anything to us. I mean, so we could just say, what is 7 damage to Rageborn here? Not Rageborn, the Wrath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Discard your most expensive card in hand. No. No, thank you. Thank you very much, no. Right, so it is here. It is here. Okay, so we have Time Rift and Spark prepped here. Actually, I want to prep Spark over here to deal that 1 damage, so to lose 1 Nemesis token. And that's going to be what? 4, 5, 6, 7 damage? Okay, yeah. Suffer 1 damage, discard a card in hand, that's better. Coruscating Mirror, gonna draw a card with Brama. Oh, nice, and gain an Ether token. And then she has 3 Ether, this is gonna be a charge. Okay, so that's the 1 damage. Lose 1 Nemesis token, goes down to 2. And then we have 4 Ether, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna focus that. Why do I have an... Oh, I do know why that. But that's just gonna be the friend gains 1 charge then. Right, so I know I have to resolve that, but just give me a second here. Because she's not the one that's going to benefit from this. There's gonna be 2 cards returned into hand. Each player may return up to 3 cards into this card pile that cost 0 to their hand. May return. Keyword may return. Oh, that's free. I only have that Spark there. And I don't want anything else. I don't want it into hands. Okay. Her again. Okay, so I'm forced to do this. Place 2 Venom tokens on an enemy in play. Alright. Having fought this through, Funnel Rage gonna deal 1 damage. There we go, 1 over to discard a card in hand. That's fine. And then we have Alchemical Ignition to put 2 Venom tokens on an enemy. And because we do not want to trigger this over here, because that's going to be empty, suffer 2 damage, suffer 1 damage. We're going to be exhausted if we do that. We're going to put the 2 Venom tokens, well, only one of the Venom tokens. No, both of them, because it's one Volatile Pylon to deal 4 damage to Volatile Pylon, but it cannot be reduced below 1. It's just empty that damage out without having to deal it somewhere. And then it's 3 damage, or 2 damage, 1, 2, goes into a space. Okay, so that's what's happening. Then Sushanna's Bottle and Eternium for charge, I think, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ether. Just want to open up my 4th reach as well. What's my other options? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I can open it up next time, and then we're good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Flamium to put an Immolate on here and gain 1 charge and destroy a crystal from hand. And then left over 1 charge. And then, well, it should be Janti now. Alright, apart from friend and foes. Friend. Adeline to Blacksmith gains 2. Oh, forgot to reduce that to 0. Or any player discards a card in hand that costs 2 or more. If they do, they gain 3 charges. Does not have a card that costs 3 or more. Of course not. Does she want to do that? That's a Washio. One, 2, 3, 4. I still have 3 Ether left over. Yeah, I think that's worth it. Even though that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's the alternative? So discard that for the 3 charges outright. 1, 2, 3, 4 to open the breach. And then we have 3 ether left over, so 1 charge left over. That's the same. So we do not really want to do that. So he just gains 2 charges. Janti. Right, let's go. So that would be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's perfect. Discard a card. No. No. But nice to check, nice to check. So that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to lose the charge. Going down to 1. And then we actually wanted the spark to be on the plus damage. But it's what it is. Gonna put redirector. And then we have Aeon to open 4th breach. So that's 1, 2, what? 1, 2, 3. That's to fully charge up, using the ability to get the top card. And then we have Iron Infusion. If this is destroyed, deal 5 damage. Attach this to any player's breach. When a spell is cast from this breach, Janti gains 1 charge. Of course, before we did anything, that dealt enough damage to move it up to strike to 0, dealing 1 damage. So if the spark had been on a +2 or plus enough, like +3, we would have been further along the route, but you know, it's what it is. And then we have 1 charge left over. Oh, and we keep forgetting Essence Membrane. After a player finishes resolving their ability, that player places an elemental token on any enemy. I mean, just gain a charge, right? Electrify. Or we know the cultist gains 2 charges or piling gains 4 lives, so actually we might want to put a Venom out. Yeah, let's do that. And then we have 2 ether left over for charge for Janti. So, Burn Bright. The cultist gains 2 charges or volatile piling gains 4 life. Volatile piling gains gonna get 4 life, so up to 5. And we hope to go before the Nemesis has gone twice at least. Or we might be in for a rough time. Turn. Nemesis. 1 off. 1 off. Right, so that's why it matters that it's red. This is not a red one. These are not red because they don't double trigger on slaying more. We have Rage Walker, 11 health, persistent, unleash, move the strike token back 1 space on the wrap track without resolving the effect. So it doesn't say anywhere specific that it cannot be moved beyond like this down here, but it's sort of like implied to me that it can't do that, because otherwise you would just move it down and then fast move it up, back and forth all the time to reduce its health. I'm pretty sure that's not the intention, at least. So maybe, let me know in the comments if that you can actually do that. Player 1. I'm just gonna put, so I'm not gonna cast any spells, so I can put elemental token out, so that's gonna be a Venom. So we put this down to 1 health. There we go. And then 4 ether to open up bridge 2, and then we can prep a spark there. 5. Now we can actually do the fun stuff. Player 2. Redirector for 7, right? That's 3 times 2, that's 6, plus itself, that's 7. We actually do want to get the spark into play. That's down to 3. We actually just want to get a lot of spells through our deck at this point. Right, so I think Time Rift is just gonna be over here for the bonus charge. Coruscating Mirror to gain a +1 over here. Plus a charge. Sorry, Ether token. Wait, we had this in hand when Rage War came out. So I could have revealed that, and I will put an Energize Electrify token on it. With Coruscating Mirror, I mean. That's the thing with putting the cards down, it's difficult to keep track of it all. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5 Ether. That's just 2 charges, right? Because there's nothing else I can pay towards. It's 5 Ether, so you could also say I should buy a spell. So I'm buying it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, actually, yeah. Time Rift. I don't have a lot of spells. I should have just been going all in on silence things, I guess. Hurricane. Right, so that's going to be 5 damage, plus a charge. And plus a charge from taking out Rage Walker. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ether. I don't really want to use my ability right now. What does it do? 8? Yeah, no, that's a really bad number. And that would be 2. That's really good. So I could use my ability right now. Oh yeah, that would trigger first. So we go to 2 and then to 10. Discard a card in hand. Okay, I could do that. Especially because it's out of the casting phase, so it doesn't. I can play all my cards to not have any cards in hand. Right? What does this do? If this is destroyed, deal 5 damage. So that's the second instance. Okay, so I can go deal 1 damage to it right now. So that's going to be 2 Ether. That's going to be 4 Ether and 6 Ether. So use them all. Spend 2 Ether. Cast my abilities, and before I cast it, that's going to be Spark through Honest Overwhelming Flame. That's going to deal 2 damage. I'm going to lose 1 Nemesis token. And then I'll use my ability to destroy an infusion and play if you do deal 8 damage. So 2 plus 8, so that's 10. I don't have any cards in hand to discard, and then Iron Infusion is destroyed. That's to deal 5 on its own. Move the strike token to 0 and wraps up his damage. Alright, okay, so we're down to 4 health now. And after I finish resolving an ability, I can place an elemental token on any enemy. I think I just want to put an Electrify in here. Player 1. So I can technically keep that prepped to put in a Venom token out there and gain a charge. What would that be? So I will be on 2 charges, +1, +2, and +3. So actually, if it wasn't because oh, I can just put Electrify in there. I don't need to do that. But I can't. Oh yeah, so then I will be able to focus a breach. Okay. Okay, so I don't want to cast anything. Put Electrify into play, so that's 2. That's 2 charges. So now it's my main phase. I'm gonna spend 2 Ether to focus my second breach. To prep Alchematic Ignition and Fallen Rage. And then plus the Ether token. That's 4 Ether. Plus 3 from in hand. So that's 2 charges to go to 5. And then I'll gain fire 4 health. So go to 5. And then I can put an elemental token into play. It's gonna be electrify again. Okay, so now she can take some damage again. Now everything is fine. I don't think alchemical ignition is a good take for this nemesis because, well, you don't want to deal minuscule amount of damage. Like, you can sort of like jump over here, but as soon as you get over here, you want to do a big jump, and that's not it. That's just not it. Oh, I forgot about friend. We still have foe and the nemesis going once more. Any player destroys a crystal in hand or discard pile and gain a forged crystal. Or any player returns up to 2 cards from the discard pile that cost 0 to their hand. Oh, it's just because she has such a slim deck. Okay. I mean, yeah, that doesn't really help me right now, so I can destroy that, gain a forged crystal. In discard pile, of course. Right, that's just gonna be it. We have Nemesis. Right, so this triggers dealing 0 damage because it's 1 minus 1. Then this unleashed twice, so that's 2 Nemesis tokens. And set this next to Wrath, and then whenever you hit a red spot, you do it twice. Okay. Descending Skies. This card spent 8, power 2, unleash twice, any player suffers 2 damage. A different player discards the 2 most expensive cards. Okie dokie. And the foe. The cultist gains 2 charges or volatile piling gains 4 life. The latter. 5. Okay, and I'll shuffle up, and we're already heading into round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Already into round 6. It's not doing as well as the last couple of games, is it? Alright. Prior to going into round 6, I just want to say I forgot that I have Alchemical Ignition prepped. While prepped once per turn, when any player plays an elemental token, they place an additional elemental token of the same time on that enemy. I should place 2 electrifies on it to gain 2 charges. Just before we move on, basically. Right, so round 6. Okay, so this is a little bit of a pickle, because I do not want to suffer 2 damage on the 7 over there. So let's start with the Spark. Or let's start with Alchemical Ignition to deal 2. So it goes down to lose 1 Nemesis token. And then I think what I want to do is I will put the Venom tokens, the 2 Venom tokens on Volatile Pylon. Place 2 on an enemy and deal 2 damage to it. Okay, so I can't even do that. Sorry, are the Venoms strictly on that enemy? No, Venoms are 2 damage to any enemy. So I can use the 2 Venom tokens to deal 4 damage to Volatile Pylon, bring it down to 1. And then I'm going for a Funneled Rage to deal 1 damage. Bring it over to discard a card in hand. So we're just gonna do that. And then Spark to deal 2 damage to bring it over to 5. Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, and friend gains 1 charge. That's 4 ether. That's just gonna go as 2 charges for myself, I believe. Could also, I mean, I could also not give Adelheim a charge, because then I have 5 ether in hand. That's gonna be 3 for the Hungry Avite and 2 ether for a charge. I believe that's the path forward for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I'm gonna see it at least once. Okay, so we have the foe. Alright, yeah, so I just forgot to bring this over because we already gave it 4 life last turn. Smoldering Smog. Volatile piling gains 2 life and any player loses 1 charge. I could do that. Or the cultist gains 3 charges and the friend gains 1 charge. No, no, we don't want to do that. So Volatile piling gains 2 life, so up to 3. Losing a charge on Brama. I think that's fine. 2. Going to prep Redirector and Time Rift to +3 here. Spend 1, 2 to gain a charge. Did I forget to spend the ether last round on charges? Because I placed the 2 ether charges over there on the side as if I did. Let me just play this one out and double check the footage. Right, so that will be 7 and that will also be 7. So 7 plus the 5 is a 12. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, and then plus the 2 damage on the spark goes up there, and then we can go directly to 7 again, which is up 2 damage, well, twice. Alright, so that's all for her, and now I'm just gonna double check that if I forgot to give her the charges back that I owed her last turn. Okay, so after reviewing the footage, yeah, that's what happened. I placed the 2 charges over here to remember that I had the 4 ether that I was using for those charges after I'd used the ability. So that's just what took place. Okay, her again. Right, so now that's what we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it doesn't really matter too much. So Time Rift gonna deal 7 damage. Bring it over to 12 to lose another Nemesis token, rewarding me for a well-timed effect. So Spark for 2, bring it up to 14, and that's a health. Goes down to 3. And then Redirector for 7 to suffer 4 damage. Goes to 6. Okay, Time Rift. Draws a card on Coruscating Mirror and gains 1 ether token. Then we have what? 5 ether. So 2 of those gonna be spent on charges to use the ability. Time Rift deals 7 damage. Wait. Yeah, I don't have that in hand, so that doesn't really help me. Maybe I should just wait. Yeah, I might as well just wait and hope it goes better. Oh yeah, I forgot Time Rift. That this crystal would have been discarded, and then I would draw a spark. So I might as well just not use the ability this turn. And then the question is, should I just develop? What can I do with 3 leftover ether? I might as well just buy a spell. I mean, Silent Sting is good. Friend. Any player destroys a crystal or spark in hand, that player gains the corresponding forge card and places it into the hand, or any player loses 2 charges. If they do, Adelheim the Blacksmith gains 4. So she has 3 in hand. It would be 4, and that's 5. That's not enough. Might as well just destroy the spark to gain a forge spark. for the damage down the line. I think Descending Skies are gonna trigger. Yeah, there's no way that it makes that through. Right, so that and that. Winter's Bite. Unleash. Discard the top card of the Nemesis deck, or the player with the lowest life suffers 5. That's gonna be an Unleash. Discard the top card. A Bleed. Unleash twice. The players collectively discard 3 prep spells. That would have been quite rough as well. But I think like seeing the tier 3s that much sooner is gonna be rough. So Descending Skies triggers to unleash twice, so that goes to 3. And any player suffers 2, a different player discards the 2 most expensive cards in hand. Don't really want to do that over here. Yeah, okay, so she's super fine. So it goes down to 3. Happy to have healed up. And all cards cost 0. So I'm just going to discard the 2 crystals. So that was really not that bad. And then we have a new card. Moonstruck Mongrel. Persistent unleashed twice. 2 shields and 6 health. That might not be the greatest timing. Might not have the best resources to deal with it. Player 1. Okay. So, I mean, that's gonna be a Venom, right? Moondrunk Mongrel to get rid of it. And then I have 4 Ether. More if my ally is ready to discard its gem. But like that doesn't really help me. Right. So gonna spend that on nothing because that's wasted at the end of the turn. And then we want to check. Alright, so we want to deal 4. She can't do that. She cannot do that at all. Forge Spark is 3. Ignition is 2, 3. Oh, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 2. Okay, yeah, so Alchemic Ignition prepped like this is going to be good because Alchemic Ignition places 2 Venom tokens on an enemy. That's not good, that's not good. We want to deal Forge Spark with 3 damage first to go to discard a card in hand without doubling it. And then Chemical Ignition for triple Venom. Goes lose a Nemesis token. Move to the first strike move token. Yeah, goes to 0. And then it deals its own 2 damage to lose a Nemesis token. And still with a Venom left. And then fall. Oh yeah, no. And then suffers 4. Wait, what? Because we placed the Venom tokens on it immediately together. So we'll deal 6 damage. But times 3. So do the 3. And then we do 2, 2, 3. Venom, 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 its own damage. But I can do the 2 damage from Venom to Volatile Pylon and that way get around it. So we should be fine. Could use the Aeon to lose a life to gain a charge. And an Ether token over here. Would that be helpful? Not really. We're just gonna keep it like it is. So that's all for round 6. We're gonna go into round 7, and because we discarded that one from the Nemesis deck, we are going to see tier 3 already now. So that's gonna be a little bit rough, and we're only halfway with health on this monstrosity, so I hope it'll be fine. Round 7. Okay, power off. Unleashes twice, so goes to 5. Acid Bath. To discard, spend 7, power 2. If any player has a prep spell that costs 5 or more, unleash 3 times, otherwise Gravehole suffers 7. Player 1. Okay. So that's the Forge Spark to deal 3 damage. Bring it over to 10, and discarding a card in hand. Then we have Alchemical Ignition. That's 2 Venom tokens on. Deal 2 and 2. Okay, yeah, so it lost 3, goes down to 1. Gravehole should be at 10. Okay, and then that was 2 of them. I think we're fine with a Volatile Pylon. I might just want to trying to get rid of this one. Or do I? Can I just like try to win at this point as well? Maybe. Let's just keep it there. If we have a bad timing. Okay, and then the 2 damage from the spell itself. And I don't know, should I just keep Funnel Rage prepped? Because that's going to be 9. So 1 damage and discard a card in hand. That's not too bad. Right, so we have 3, 5, 6, 7 Ether. And one of them can be the friend gains 1 charge. So like that. Actually, let's just take that back. Because I can also just discard a card in hand, and then it goes to 10 from Time Rift. So Funnel Rage to deal 1. Discard a card in hand, that's gonna be a crystal. Okay. And then 6 Ether. So that's going to be using the ability to gain 2 life to go to 5, and then 2 life to Gravehold. 4 life to Gravehold, so 14. So I just need to use the ability once more, and then we have made it up for then we can survive 2 unleashes, and we gain. I'm gonna put a Venom out there as well instead of an Electrify. I'm not quite sure. From Essence Membrane, I want to put a Venom on. Yeah, because then we can double Venom and be good. So the cultist gains 1 charge. Any player may discard a gem in hand that costs 3 or more. If they don't, Volatile Pylon gains 3 life. No. No. Right, so it goes to 6. Okay, player 1 again. Put a Forge Spark out there. 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. What can I do for 4 Ether? I think I'm just gonna charge. Oh, I didn't cast anything this turn, so I am putting out an elemental token. In that case, I think I just want to put it on Moondrunk Mongrel or Volatile Pylon. Just put a Venom token out there. Nemesis. Okay, that goes off. Take 2 Nemesis tokens. 1 power off. And draw the first tier 3. Rust away. Gravehole suffers 7, or the player with the most cards that cost 2 or more in hand destroys all of their cards in hand. That's not her. It's not her. Scheiße. I might actually just destroy them, because I don't know what's gonna happen now. How many times we're going to unleash. So I'm gonna destroy those. Like, even though it's rough, I think we're better off with that, because we have a lot of damage coming from Janti over here. So we're very close. We just want to live out the last bit and be good. So I'm gonna destroy those cards, even though it feels really bad. Okay, so that was Nemesis. Player 2. That's the first time going. That will deal 3 damage. So we can use Time Rift to deal 7. Goes to 10. I have to discard a card in hand. Yeah, okay. But before like that happens, before the damage happens, the effect happens? No, damage goes first. And then we check the top card. Forged Crystal, want to keep that. Flamium, no, want to keep that. That's 7 damage. And we discarded the card in hand. Right, so Honors Overwhelming Flame and Forged Crystal for 3 Ether, and then we use the ability. And then Forged Spark is cast first, as I understand it, to deal 3 damage. And I don't really want to do that, so I'm just going to put it over here, to go down to 3. And then I'm not quite ready. I think I just want to do 2 quick successions of destroying her infusions. So I'm gonna get another one, attach this to any player's breach. When a spell is cast from this breach, the player who cast that spell gains 2 ether. And I'm gonna put it over here on the Forged Spark. Okay, and then I have ether for 1 more charge. Oh yeah, after using my ability, I can put an elemental token on, so that's going to be a Venom to deal 2 and 2, removing a Nemesis token in the process. And then going down to 1 life. Okay, so now we just need to go through once more. Maybe it was better to have the 8 damage. No, I think we're fine. Okay, then we have 1 ether, 1 charge, sorry. But I think we have to go into next round. So Redirector and Time Rift prepped to +2, and then Silent Sting and Spark prepped to +1. Forged Crystal for 1 ETH, 1 charge. Right, so does this make sense? Go to 7. Place a Venom token on an enemy and deal 1 damage to it. So, okay, but that's 2 damage there. Lose 1 Nemesis token. And then we're gonna go 7 to 9. So 1 discard a card in hand. We can do that. And we have Friend. Aldelheim, the blacksmith, gains 2 charges, or any player destroys a spark in hand or discard pile and gains a Forged Spark. Can't do. And then the other choice is just to return 3. Janti doesn't have any, but because we give Blacksmith 2 charges and then each player returns 3 cards that cost 0 or nothing, 0 from the discard pile back into their hand, so we're gonna do that. Why is the Forged Spark laying around there? 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I forgot to discard it. It's gonna be there. Okay, so a little bit of a rare event, but we are going into round 8 to hopefully finish this off. Janti just needs to go and then we're fine. If Brama goes, she can at least pay something off. And also we have some health to sustain some variance at least. Right, so we have the Nemesis going first. We have the Ritual Flame triggering. So I'm happy we took some damage off that. So that's gonna deal 2 damage. I'm gonna give that to Brama. Moondrunk Mongrel unleashed twice, goes to 3. And then if any player has a prep spell that costs 5 or more, we do unleash 3 times, it goes to 6. And then we have Assassinate. The player with the most charges lose all of their charges and suffers 5. Yeah, we can actually do that. Or Unleash. Shuffle a Nemesis turn order card in the turn order discard pile into the turn order deck. No, we don't exactly want to do that. So they both have 2 charges, so we can direct the damage where we want. Janti is going to go to 1 health remaining. Lose all of her charges. We're okay with that. And then it rampages to deal 7 to Gravehold, so goes to 7 health. And goes down to 3 Nemesis tokens. Okay, so if it goes again, we're screwed. We have friend. At the time, the blacksmiths gain 2 charges, or any player discards a card in hand that costs 2 or more. If they do, they gain 3 charges. Zero, 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 zero. I mean, yeah. Doesn't matter because she has 7. She can she skip damage is the question. Spark can deal 2 to lose 1 Nemesis token, and 2 to suffer 2 damage twice. Over, no. 7 is suffering 2 damage as well. 9 is suffer 1 damage, discard a card in hand. So what happens when... Then it just unleashes twice. And we have to destroy... Yeah, okay, we can actually... Yeah, okay, we can do that. I should have kept the spark on 1 damage. Oh well. Right, if it's any mage, we survive to... Goes off. Moondrunk Mongrel unleashes twice to go to 5. Power 1 unleash twice. The player with the most charges suffers 2 damage for each charge they have. And then we at the end, and then it rampages to 2 and then deals 7 damage to Gravehold. Losing the battle. So close. So close. Well, looking at it, we might have just... I should have taken Moondrunk Mongrel off. I didn't think it would be this bad. Well, that's tier 3 as well, but it wasn't really tier 3 that killed me. It was just a Moondrunk Mongrel being allowed to stay alive. Right. So what would have happened if Brama had gone? Of course, the 3 damage to discard a card in hand. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Janti discarding a gem in hand to go to 6. And then we would have enough health to survive that just by 4. We just need 1 more health on Gravehold and we would have been fine. Just 1 more health. Okay, so I guess this is we're gonna take a second game on this one and hopefully optimize slightly more, be more aware of our surroundings. Brama healing up a little bit earlier, maybe. I thought we were doing really well, but just didn't have the damage. It's a really weird match up because of how to deal the damage. So it funks up a lot of things. I'm not sure. Hungry Avite. Well, I never got to use the Hungry Avite actually because they got discarded, destroyed. Yeah, rough timing. Just 1 more health on Gravehold. Just 1 more. Okay, so I guess I'll see you in the next video where I'm gonna do the second try against the RAF and see how that's gonna go down. See if we can do a little bit better optimizing it. If I'd just been 1 round faster, we would have been fine. If I'd had Moonstrong Mongrel out, we would have been fine, because then we would have had the damage we needed. Sorry, we would have survived the damage. We wouldn't have taken the damage, essentially. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.